I'm Manya Magnus, and I'm an associate professor in the Department of Epidemiology and Biostatistics. I'm from Berkeley, California. DC is very different from Northern California and from New Orleans, where I did my graduate work. But I do love it here. It's ever-changing, which makes it a very exciting place to study public health. So I got my start in public health by accident. I actually didn't know what epidemiology was. I sort of stumbled on it by accident through a love of research methods. So I was a social psychology major, and then I gradually got into medicine and I went into nursing. And from there I learned how to become part of clinical trials and pediatric AIDS clinical trials in New Orleans. And that was the beginning for me of my love of epidemiology, and I took an epi class by accident and I fell in love with it, and then I went to my MPH and eventually to my PhD in epidemiology. I think one of the reasons I'm so excited about public health now, and I think it's a great time to study public health, is that we have gone beyond just silos of information. So we're no longer just research in one bucket and care in another bucket. We can really go from bench to bedside to population side, where we really can do translation of research findings into public health action. I think we have more tools to do that than ever, and I think it's more appreciated than ever before. So students who come to study with us, we have this wonderful laboratory that is Washington, D.C., where we partner with the communities to be able to translate what we find research-wise into population-level care and prevention. So I think it's an exciting time for me as a professor, as well as for students who are coming to pursue public health and epidemiology research. So I teach epidemiologic methods. I teach them in terms of HIV epidemiologic methods as well as advanced methodology. The thing I want my students to take away is an understanding of the critical importance of looking at how data were collected. So how a study was done, how the methods matter, is of critical importance, even more than the specific results that are found. We can't interpret the results unless we understand how they were collected, and that informs our understanding of their utility. DC is a wonderful place. I've been here for almost 14 years now, and I love everything about DC. I love the free music festivals in the summer, and I love the museums, and I love being around people who are vibrant. It's a very vibrant city. So people watching in DC is one of my favorite things, actually, and that never grows old here. But to me, the best part about being in DC is just having access to some of the best museums in the world. I love that. My research, my major area of focus is understanding structural barriers to care, particularly with regard to HIV prevention. So how can we identify people at risk of HIV? What services can we provide them so they reduce their risk of HIV? And how can we help them engage in care and be retained in care despite systems that often are structural barriers to the very care we are trying to provide? How can we provide better care to those people that our system does not support adequately enough? So there are many people at risk of HIV in particular that our systems just don't serve. So we are not able to provide the services that they need to stop HIV. There are many HIV prevention interventions available now, but we are not very good at providing them to the people most in need of them. So how can we learn from the people that most need those HIV prevention services to better serve them? I do a lot of biomedical work as well. I'm looking at novel interventions to stop HIV biomedically. But my largest question is really, what methods can we derive to better overcome the barriers to care that people really encounter all the time, including stigma, racism, heterosexism, a lot of structural things like poverty, education, things like that we really have to overcome in order to better serve the people most in need. If we can figure out these barriers to care, if we can eliminate them so that people can be better engaged in care, I really am optimistic that we will be able to prevent HIV and stop HIV soon. I've seen the whole epidemic. I never thought in my lifetime I'd say that, but I actually feel that we're on the brink of stopping new infections and curing those we have. I love teaching, and I love teaching here at this school. We have these wonderful, passionate students who come to us. They're really smart, super passionate, but I really do think that no matter what research I do, one of my favorite things to do is teach students, because they will be the next generation of public health practitioners and they will carry on this work. So if I teach them well, then I'm hopeful that they will go ahead and carry on this work to future generations. Oh, sure. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you here. I love Easter Market. It's so much fun. I mean, it's very exciting. Yeah, it's fun. There's never a shortage of stuff to do here, so it really is nice.